Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the 23rd World Education Summit, the Higher Education Edition. And we are now on the final topic discussion for the day. And we have this is the second day of the event, and we are on the final topic discussion. And the panel discussion topic now is blockchain technology redrafting the blueprint in the Indian higher education sector. I'm Tarannum Manjul, and I'm the assistant editor at Elets Technomedia, and I'm the moderator for this panel discussion. And with me, I have some eminent educationists from across India. I would like to welcome them all. I would first like to welcome Professor Dr. Abhay Kumar, Vice Chancellor, Pratap University, Jaipur, Rajasthan. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I would like to welcome Professor Dr. Ramesh Kumar Chaudhary, Vice Chancellor, Venkateshwara Open University, Itanagar, Arunachal Pradesh. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to also welcome an eminent professor and educationist, Dr. K.V. Jayakumar. Welcome, sir. I would like to welcome Dr. Pratima Shauri, Director, Symbiosis Center for Management and Human Resource Development, Pune, Maharashtra. Welcome, ma'am. Now, quickly starting off the panel discussion, I would first like to put a question across to Professor Abhay Kumar. Sir, how can blockchain technology streamline the examination processes in the higher education? Because that's one of the biggest problems we've heard about the examination processes. So, how far
Yeah.
do you think that blockchain technology can actually streamline this process?
Okay. Thank you, Taranum, ma'am. Special thanks to Elets Digital Learning, Dr. Ravi Gupta, Mr. Abhishek, and of course, Mr. Iqbal. Well, blockchain technology and the examination process is going to help us a lot. You know, blockchain is a term that was not commonly used a few years ago. Now, today we hear a lot of it just because of the fact that its application in Bitcoin or Ethereum has given it a fillip. But we don't exactly understand the basic nature of, say, this particular, say, blockchain technology. As far as examinations are concerned, I'll tell you one thing. We can use it in evaluation. We can use it digitally in taking the examination. For example, all the institutes and universities can use blockchain-based cloud services. And to do what? To store necessary information like curricular records, the necessary regulatory documents, and other important information. Now, as far as the evaluation of courses would go, blockchains can be used for smart contracts. Actually, these are terms I have learned from my IT people. Okay, so this can aid a course instructor, that means a teacher, to create smart contract outlining a list of tasks. That means which are required for the completion of the course. That means completion of the course would also be helped by blockchain technology. Now, every time when we see that a student completes a task, the same is verified by the smart contract. And once these tasks are completed, the students can be awarded credits for the course. Then we see that during the pandemic, during the lockdown, one of the hardest hit sectors was the education sector, and that, to top it all, it was examination basically, when we had to go online. You know, all the institutes and universities had to look beyond classrooms and explore digital platforms for delivery of the courses, as well as evaluating the students for learning objectives which they were set to do. Now, using the smart contract concept on the blockchain, instructors can create examination papers also, along with the answer key and scoring pattern. Then students can take the examination digitally, and the blockchain can be used to grade the responses also. Now, it will also help in, say, not only in taking the examination, but in awarding certificates and degrees also. We have just seen a few months back that the Honorable Prime Minister had gone to IIT Kanpur, and they had given, say, digital degrees. This is blockchain technology. So that means right from instructions, that means teaching in the classroom up to evaluation and then award of degree. And then even after that, we'll talk about it later. I think I'll stop right now because there are many more speakers to continue. So thank you, Taranum.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kumar. And in fact, I would like to put across the same question to Dr. K.V. Jayakumar as well. So, how high do you think that blockchain technology can stream the entire examination processes?
Yeah, thank you, Tarano, and greetings to all my colleagues. In fact, if you see the new education policy, which says, you can even leave a program in between and your grades are scored and the credits can be transferred I think blockchain technology has a tremendous role to play. And especially compared to what it was 4 to 5 years back, especially when it comes to all this developed quite a lot during the online teaching learning system, where we had to develop examination pattern, where we had to teach a lot of things. In fact, what I found was in the post-COVID season, lockdown season, the amount of knowledge that we have transferred to student is much higher than a physical meeting, because there's a lot of discussion which takes place in the physical class, whereas not so much discussion takes place in the online course. So the greatest challenge we felt was conducting the examination system, and we developed our own learning management system using the blockchain technology, where I can give different types of questions to the same class and get their feedback, get their answers, and then value them and then show them. So there is a great record keeping that's available, which is the basic digital repository that we have in the blockchain technology. The number of blocks, ledgers, that's how we go forward. And we found that as time passed, now we become so expert in conducting exams online without anyone copying, without anyone doing increasing malpractices, and we're able to keep a record of everything, and the students can see whatever we are doing. There is a lot of transparency in blockchain technology that we have. In fact, personally, I was involved in the development of the Amaravati, the capital of New Telangana, Andhra Pradesh state. We used that blockchain technology to develop the entire city. I was one of the members of society identified to prepare a blueprint for the development of the city, where I learned a lot of blockchain technology in the planning and development of a city. Now, those ideas we borrowed, we took back, and then we introduced in the education system to a great extent, to a great success. So that's how we are using here. And as Abhay Kumar said, that we are learning and we are progressing faster. Thank you so much for the
Thank,
question.
thank you so much, Dr. Jayakumar. And my next question now would be to Dr. Pratima Shori. Dr. Shori, when we're talking about blockchain technology in education, what do you think has been the biggest takeaway from using blockchain technology?
Uh, thank you so much for inviting me. It's an interesting topic, and use of technology and technology integration has become big, especially because of COVID. Now, given all of this, when I was looking up some, while there is interesting possibilities, there is no adoption yet in India at all. In the US, there is about a 2% adoption of blockchain, and mainly for transcript verification, which is a big part of the entire admission process that the students go through. That is also only 2% as of now. In fact, in 2019, I think it was Maryville University in the US that first did, they had this block cert wallet or something like that, where, their diploma was issued or degree was issued to them, and the students could use this app and access their courses. There is data which shows that almost 36 to 30% of mandates, okay, of the university staff of the older universities goes in verifying academic credentials. And the older the institution, the longer this is likely to take. And sometimes records are lost, or the paper is misplaced. Now, by doing something like this, it'll actually enable and help. In fact, one of the speakers right now, respectable panelists here, has mentioned that blockchain is being considered largely for issuance of transcript or even in examination, and the government, the mandate on the academic bank of credits as part of the National Education Policy 2020 does mention that yes, you can multiple entry and multiple exit. So if those things do happen, then a technology like this, which is secure and concentrates on SDG 4, which is lifelong learning. That is what this is about. So you can always keep your records safe in a manner in which you can retrieve them, and they can be verified across the board. Once they are retrieved from blockchain, they can also be shared with people in a secure manner. And I think that would be one of the biggest pieces. Of course, the applications are tremendous, but and the NEP 2020 has given us the opportunity to try this. But as of now, in an educational setup, the cost is is, is an issue.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shori. And I would like to put across the same question to Professor Dr. Ramesh Kumar Chaudhary as well. Dr. Chaudhary, in your opinion, what has been the biggest takeaway from using blockchain technology in education?
Thank you, Tarannum. First, let me express my gratitude to the Elets for inviting me in the panel discussion 4. And I must congratulate you for organizing such a big events on education summit, which you are doing last 2 days. Uh, I must thank you and appreciate your this endeavor of the Elets DL to exploring the possibilities in digital learning. I'm very happy. I'm computing guy basically, and we are the part of the development of the digital learning. And why what I see that this blockchain technology which we are discussing today in this panel discussion, I believe in education. As per my knowledge, these technologies recently used blockchains in education sector. Largely, it is used into the financial sector. Cryptocurrency and other things are the used. But recently, we have started using in blockchain. Blockchain is one of the value addition in the digital learning, and the reason is that it kind of the security it provides is the main reason to be introduced with the digital learning. Kind of security in the sense like for keeping the student record, and the most of the panelists have expressed that it is largely used for the issuing degree and diploma. And this is cloud based. These are the few regions that it has been recently started to be used with the various digital learning platform. What I see that I have just come to know that CBSE has already adopted the blockchain technology for various purposes, and in higher education sector, hopefully the various universities, because there is a revolution in the digital learning in last 2 years with the COVID, and when we were compelled to explore the digital learning. And India is one of the leading countries throughout the world, where because if you see in 2020, in March 2020, when uh, we were not very using digital learning and various methodologies in higher educations. I have been associated with a couple of the universities, and we were just implementing it as a pilot projects. I got an opportunity to implement in Indore while I was the pro vice chancellor in Sage University. So it was just confined to the more computing sector and you engineering. But now, with the revolution of the digital revolution, which is a compulsion, when the whole world was the lockdown, we started to use the digital learning. And that's why this very complex topic which we are talking, there are so many value addition in digital learning. I remember when even the Zoom and I mean to say Google Meet was not very much widely used by the higher education sector. And today, you have created your platform for this such kind of the webinar. So blockchain is going to, I feel, especially in examination process, in keeping a student record. One of the panelists has already mentioned that verification or authentication in the transcript. This blockchain technology can be very useful and very helpful, and especially where there is a large universities where the record volume is very high. This can be a very very useful and handful to be used. So I'm very thankful that DL Elets is trying to do the brainstorming, and this way it is going to help to the higher education sector. We all educationists are talking these things, and it will spread, and slowly or gradually the various digital learning platform will also start using this blockchain technology.
Thank you.
It to broad. There are a lot of scope. The most important thing is that we right now, whatever the technology has been adopted, there is a scope of improvement in the security, which this technology is ensuring more better than anything. So that's my opinion as a computing guy. Thank you, and keep doing brainstorming on these issues, and you will see that this kind of the panel discussion will definitely come up with the new ideas which can be further explored and implemented and integrated with the digital learning system. I am thankful. I am very happy to be the member of this panel discussion, especially with my bosom friend, Professor Abhay Kumar, Vice Chancellor, Pratap University. Thank you to all of you.
Thank you so much, sir, Professor Chaudhary. And coming back to Professor Abhay Kumar now. Professor Kumar, what do you think would be the impact of blockchain technology and the adaptation of blockchain technology in the education sector in the next 5 years? If we see the way forward in next 5 years, what do you think would be the impact of this technology on education? Professor Abhay Kumar, yeah. Sir, you're on mute.
I'm sorry, Taranu, I would say that when we talk about the next 5 years, let's understand that blockchain is the future. That is there. There's no doubt about it. So it is a decentralized network that works as a distributed ledger. It stores, say, protects digital data, and this is emerging as the future of the technology itself. And if we are going to, say, adopt technology, as Professor Ramesh had said, and Professor Jayakumar, and even Dr. Jory, that technology is here to stay, and it is very dynamic these days. Every 6 months, we have new technology coming. So there has to be a transparency factor also. So blockchain is transparent, it makes which makes it ideal for critical functions like the resilience of cryptocurrencies. For example, it is a testimony to the transparency and the resultant trust that blockchain enjoys. This is a proof in of itself. Now, it is a decentralized mechanism. It gives power to the end user. A central authority does not determine the fate of blockchain, which allows flexibility to the users. So it is today widely used in crypto assets, as we know. However, it's not restricted, as Professor Ramesh said, to banking or financial sectors or commercial segments or even industries. So it is the usage of blockchain is going to be worldwide, and education sector it is going to immensely impact upon. It is a very reliable encryption. That means that uses a state-of-the-art encryption technology to the records. In addition to cryptography, the decentralized technology, for example, supports better security than traditional databases. It is cost-effective. I'm not just propagating blockchain, but we have to understand that as educationists, we have to understand very clearly that this technology, the use of this technology is going to be profuse in the years to come, and we have to adopt it as per the National Education Policy 2020, on which we have spoken a good number of times. As many of the speakers earlier said, that transfer of say credits, the multiple entry and exit, for example, the academic bank of credits, what better way than blockchain? Then when we talk about classes, what better way than blockchain? Evaluation, what better way than blockchain? If it is safe, if it is say understood that there is no problem related to it, but there may be certain things which we have to understand, that we have listed out the potentials of blockchain technology. There could be challenges also faced by the universities and the colleges. Like, for example, let me tell you about the General Data Protection Regulation, which is implemented in Europe. And similar guidelines have been adopted by, say, other countries, including India, the Personal Data Protection Bill of 2019. I don't remember whether it has been passed by the parliament or not. This could raise concerns to such implementation of blockchain for student information also. India is a very big country. There are a huge number of students, and we are thinking of doubling the gross enrollment ratio by 2035. So the major obstacle would be whether the student information is categorized as personal data or not, especially when it is being stored on a distributed ledger. No, that is one point in my mind. Then again, blockchains have already started changing the way the financial sector has been operating with the introduction of cryptocurrencies, as we have already talked about. In the education sector, say the listed possibility just be the tip of the iceberg in terms of how blockchain can actually impact the education system, as say in the times to come, right from the school level. When we talk about internships, right from standard 6 for school students, we are going to teach them coding. So there is no escape from technology. And blockchain, for example, we used to talk about artificial intelligence. We used to have debates on that, whether it is going to hamper human intelligence or not. No, it is not. The technology is going to help human beings. It is not going to hamper or act against us. So the application of blockchain in the education sector, for example, in the next 5 years, it definitely seems promising. And every institution or university will have to adopt it, industry will have to adopt it, and people are started thinking about it. For example, we have just struck a deal for the very simple thing as award of certificates and degrees to a student. So this is going to happen everywhere. So that is all I have to say right now, Tarunum. So I think we can move on
Thank
to
you,
the.
Doctor. Yeah, next panelist. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Abhay Kumar. In fact, I would like to put across the same question to Dr. KV Jay Kumar as well. So, where do you see the impact of blockchain technology in the next 5 years? Can we see it beyond moving beyond the examination and the degree delivery processes as well? Can we see it going beyond that?
Yeah, of course, I see a great change in our thinking, in our education system with blockchain technology entering into the mainstream. Now, we introduced last year, I mean, I think most universities are doing it to offer a degree with a major degree and a minor degree. So, in the minor degree, we had options like, blockchain technology, machine learning, deep learning. That has become very popular. And if you look across the world, you find somebody who specializes in blockchain technology earns as much as 150,000 US dollars to 200,000 US to 2 million US dollars a year. That's the type of salary people are getting. And my institute, people who have done studies in blockchain technology are earning with a minimum salary of 60 lakhs per annum. That's the type of salary which our students who have done optionals in blockchain technology get. So that's going to definitely attract a lot of things, and it's going to change the way we are thinking in our education system. Uh, and then you also find, in the academic system, the admission process, the job application, getting credit for prior learning has always been a great challenge. In fact, we get a lot of mails from employers to verify the records. So now we have put a depository where all records are available, and it can be directly accessed by the student or the employer with, of course, with a passcode, and they know what the candidate is doing. So it has actually enabled gave us a lot of less free time, because we don't have to spend so much time in searching for the records, etc. Recently, we had a case of a person who passed out 20 years back asking for a degree certificate. And where do we keep such records for such a long time? So now we have a depository where all these records are put, and where it can be instantly retrieved by the student themselves. And so our education system should itself start rethinking on how this blockchain technology can be used for our own benefits. So it's very important now. Blockchain, we also found that it's not just IT company who are interested in blockchain students who learn blockchain. There are many others who are also trying to implement this blockchain technology in industries, core industries, I would say civil engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, where the technology is being used, and where our students who are doing core are also getting job. Not just the IT based students, but they're also getting a job. So this is going to definitely bring a revolutionary change in the education system next 5 years. And as the new education policy says, by 2030 we should double or make 4 times the enrollment, so everybody can learn lots of things. There should not be any limitation on the things that you can learn. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jayakumar. And my next question would be to Dr. Pratima Shori. Dr. Shori, do you think that blockchain technology can be used beyond data management and security in the education sector? If I can have your views on this.
Uh, it can be used for a whole lot of things beyond just data security and managing, what they are doing. It could be, the possibilities are immense and they are being tried. And like Sir just said that, it's going to arrive upon us. The sooner we understand, the better off we will be. From managing, let's say, university curriculum, how you are delivering the curriculum to them, putting instead of relying on hard drives or instead of cloud storage, which may be very expensive, you can actually put all the curricula on, by way of smart contracts, which has already been mentioned. So something like that can be looked at. Okay. It can Whenever you change technology and you will use blockchain for the first time, of course it will be expensive, but in the long run you can actually reduce the costs. Okay, because including making tuition payments, including making having access to learning resources and libraries, all of these kind of things can be accessed using blockchain. You could use cryptocurrency to make tuition payments, right? Or you could use blockchain in university research, right? Where each of the faculty is required to do a lot of research. So instead of you can how should you say, piracy proof it, uh, in that sense. If your research is uh, relayed via blockchain, then that way people can you will know who saw it, and you get the appropriate credit for it, in terms of the kind of research you're doing. So the uses are multiple uh, as we go along, and I think it's about what people are comfortable doing. So that's why I think, though there are many uses, the first thing is, yes, the using the transcript and using it in the assessment and evaluation system. So those kind of things are there, which can be on an immediate to do basis. But these are some of the other things, including paying fees, including doing research, including the curriculum, the delivery of the curriculum, delivery of teaching learning. All of these things can also be securely enabled. And if there are more number of students, I mean, there's a whole bunch of vice chancellors sitting here. So if the number of students are more, then the costs get there's economies of scale, and therefore that works better for them. It may be expensive in the beginning, but eventually, because of economies of scale, the cost would work out to be better.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And we are joined by CA Mayur Zanwar, the co-founder of True Scholar. I would like to welcome Mr. Zanwar. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Since you're around, sir, I would like to put this question across to you as well. Do you think that can blockchain technology be used beyond data management and security in the education sector? If you can share your views on this.
Yeah, very well. First of all, thank you for making me part of this uh, elite group organized by Elite Media. Definitely, I'd just like to answer since we are already working on this blockchain technology, and our startup is something which has built the credential issuance platform for issuance of digital certificate and digital badges for all the educators. I really resonate that uh, blockchain definitely can play a pivotal role in making a lot many things easier for the educators in the education world. It's not only that digitization of the credentials, it is a security aspect where we can take care through blockchain technology. As already said by many of our previous speakers, that growth of storage of files which will not be concerned because of the centralized storage of data right now. And the beauty of blockchain is the decentralization. It helps in the security of the data of the institutes to a much larger extent. And in the near future, when we are expecting the privacy data protection bill which is about to come in India, and anything proposed in the coming winter session, there will be a lot of constraint on for the educators and institutes to how to handle the data of the learners and the students. Okay, and here the technology can play a significant role where we can manage the information, we control the administrative aspect, and in fact, the identity of the learner will not be shared by the institutes through any other means. Okay, so that is the important role which we need to consider at this stage. And the number of features and advantages of the technology already been shared by previous speaker, like effective audit trail, analytics of the credentials. Verification of the credential is one of the prominent feature which I see, which we already missed in the current mechanism. And because of this technology, the verification of the credential is so fast that it can be done in a span of just 2-3 seconds, where we get a credential report, the verifying report of the credential across the globe. So the hardship which many of the learners or even institutes are facing to do the manual verification of the transcript mark sheet can be easily solved because of this technology. I can see we are into this technology already working for last 3 years, so I can see number of use cases will be coming on this technology in the near future too. And in fact, academic credential is one of the important attribute which is related to identity of a learner. So there are number of other attributes which can be part in the same credential wallet of the learner in the near future, like community certificate, caste certificate. But starting with academic credential is one of the very important element, and I think everyone is on the same page to discuss this importance. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my views.
Thank you so
Sorry
much,
for
Mr.
network issue.
Zanwar.
Really sorry for network
Mm,
issue. I'm actually right in Dubai Expo, so little bit network problem. Okay.
No, no, sir, perfectly fine. It's in fact great that you did find time to join in amidst your very busy
Thank you.
schedule. In fact, continuing with you, since you said that you've already been working on the blockchain technology, if we ask about a way forward, where do you see this technology going forward in the next, say, 5 years? Post pandemic, where do you see this technology going?
Yeah, post pandemic, in fact, the importance of this technology has been easily noticed by all the organization. In fact, post COVID, what we see is the virtual is working, the outcome is important, and the importance of you can notice that during the COVID period, the verification of the credential was not done by many of the big corporate houses. Also, even the recruiting parties for the learners, because education institutes itself were closed, learners were not able to verify the credentials. Even the organizations were not able. But due to this technology, it's easy to verify the credential. So we are right now working with many organizations. We are onboarded more than 150 plus organization in India, like C Institute. And happy to share, just day before yesterday, DY Patil International University has issued their degree through our platform, the final degree for their on the blockchain technology. So its adoption is now happening. As today we are in Dubai, we know that even in Dubai, people are excited to adopt this technology, and we have met prominent institutes here where they were so excited to hear the solution. The only thing I noticed in the recent time is the adoption. Who take the chance, who lead the digitizing transformation, that is important. But yes, this is technology which will be there for next minimum 10-15 years, and it will be game changer for number of use cases which will be built on this technology. That is to be understand in the latter part.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zanwar. And if we heard so much about blockchain technology, I would now put this question across to all our panelists that in 5 years from now, or maybe a decade from now, where do they see blockchain technology going in terms of education sector? We have seen that it's actually helping in streamlining examination processes, data management, and also giving away degrees. But do you think there's anything more which in which blockchain technology would be able to help? And I would like to start with Professor Abhay Kumar on this.
Yeah, Taranum, very nice, nicely worded. In fact, blockchain technology has in fact pushed us to rethink and reimagine many of the, say, foundational aspects of our traditional systems of education. Even I, who was not very adept in technology, had to come up in the last 1.5 years and understand things so that it may be properly implemented in our institution. There are certain concepts like trust, value, privacy, identity, and they have all come into question with the arrival of blockchain. And I'll tell you one thing, apart from evaluation, say apart from curriculum, apart from giving degrees or conducting examinations or teaching in the classroom, blockchain technology can be used very well in the admission process. I've discussed it with people. You know, say it is an ecosystem could be used to design a scholarship system also. We can say incentivize the students to maintain a consistency and achieve say academic excellence and keep it permanent with the help of blockchain. The adoption of this technology in education would definitely go a long way to say improve the efficiency of the education ecosystem itself. Our thought process, mindset, everything is going to change with the time, and optimize the use of human and physical resources. You know, right now we may be wasting human and physical resources. If we adopt such technology, we'll be able to optimize it. I'm not saying minimize it, optimize it. That is my take of how education will proceed. So thank
Thank,
you, Taran.
thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Kumar. And I would like to put across the same question to now to Dr. KV Kumar. If you can share your opinion on this, sir, that where do you see in way forward? Where do you see the use of blockchain technology just beyond the examination and data management processes in the education sector?
I think it has got a tremendously bright future. In fact, as Mayur just now said, blockchain-based university diploma, university degree giving is a great leap forward now. But perhaps ultimate use is the creation of virtual transcript of record of all educational achievements throughout one's entire lifetime. So the whole thing can be there. So you can actually have the whole details about the transcript. And then you have a verifiable lifetime transcript that will help reduce the CV fraud, streamline student transfer from one university to another university. Now we also migration certificate, we have that certificate, all these are not required. And the reduce overheads related to credential verification. I think this is going to be a great change in these type of things and make moving between the states, moving between countries less complex. In fact, when the present situation is when you apply somewhere else, like for example, if one of my students applies to United States, he needs a recommendation letter, he needs so many things. Now all this can be solved by using the blockchain technology. So basically, it involves it seeks a streamlining the processes and makes it a very efficient method. Even as rightly said at the beginning, that fee payment, etc., are there. But then, what is important is the acceptability of the education institutions to adopt this technology, which is not geared up because there are not enough expertise available in education institutions who are exposed to blockchain technology. So it's very important that there is a blockchain technology group in the academic institute, and then a lot of research could be done where live problem can be taken up, and then see how this technology can be used further. In fact, as Dr. Pratima rightly said, that in a survey done in 2019, they found only 2% of people employed blockchain in a country like the United States. And then it is much higher, about 18 to 24%, who said they'll do it in the next few months. So so there is even so much interest in highly developed countries, but we are much better. In fact, our IT sector is very, very good compared to many. I've been to many universities outside country, and I found the IT sector in India is pretty good. And in fact, even IT sector in other countries are managed by many of our own students and our own people. So blockchain technology will revolutionize the education sector. I feel in the next 5 to 10 years, we are in for a better time in the future. Thank you, Taranam.
Thank you, Dr. KV Kumar. And in fact, we are moving towards the end of this panel discussion now. And as a closing remark, I would ask all my panelists to to share their views about the challenges that can occur and that can come in days to come, in time to come, related to implementation and adaptation of blockchain technology. And I would like to start with Dr. Shori. Dr. Shori, can you just share your views about the challenges that may come in terms of implementation and adoption of blockchain technology?
One of the key things, thanks for the question, Taranam. I think, we looked at all the possibilities. I'm glad, that I'm speaking about what would be the challenges, because when you have such an eminent panel, and you come after such eminent people, it's very difficult to better them in any way. But notwithstanding, I would feel there are about 3 or 4 issues that exist and that need to be resolved. So while there is secure, it is completely secure, but what all will you put over there? Right? I mean, you can store a lot of information, and the information access can also be provided. Universities probably need to implement very strong privacy measures, because what all will you do, who all will you provide access to, and who will see what is happening. So that's one issue. Second is scalability. You know, each one of our institutions that we represent have been in existence for decades altogether, right? So the moment you will add more data, I don't know, maybe it will slow down the speed, right? And every transaction requires verification on both sides. So that is something, I think, as the technology evolves, these are some bugs that may go away. Also, like I mentioned before, only 2% in the United States. And the rest of them, another just 10-15% are saying we will think about it, we're thinking about it. As academicians, we all think, because we are researching at the cutting edge, but the adoption is an issue. And while it will give us, finally it all boils down to the money, which is while it will, at economy of scale, it will give us advantage in cost. But implementing anything new which will alter the way uh, the current system is working. Okay, so you are used to saving and keeping data in a certain way today. In more ways than one, that entire architecture has to change. And if you truly want to benefit from it, then you have to do it for the last 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years. Now, that by itself is a humongous task. Reconfiguring the whole thing so that such that it fits into this new way of looking at it is going to be time and cost intensive. Going ahead from here, yes, wonderful, right? But we've got a big past, and that needs to be aligned as well if you truly want to draw the benefits that that this technology has on offer.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And in fact, coming back to Mr. Zanwar, since you have been working in this technology, I am sure that you are well aware of the challenges that are are being faced in implementation and adaptation of blockchain technology. If you can share your views on this.
Yeah, thank you for again. I really, to some extent, I agree with the madam also the concern she raised right now regarding the old data. Uh, what we have noticed is that there is integration required because each organization or academy or institute, even right now, working with number of softwares, and even those softwares are not properly integrated. There are modules working for examination, modules working for admission, modules working for examination conducting, result disclose. They are itself not, and apart from that, there are big LMS platforms they are deploying or they are creating for their customized LMS platforms in many of the organizations which are noticed. So when a new technology is adopted, it should be properly integrated with the existing one. That is the challenge we have noticed of late. But definitely there is a solution for us also through this API and other things. It's very well possible. Zapier, lot many new tools and facilities and are available. The solution is there, and the biggest challenge is adoption. In fact, the thinking and just thinking is not enough. To adopt is more important. and that perception need to be made into action. I'll in fact recommend to few organization, institute, big organizations, that you start with issuing the certificate for even events, conferences, seminars, so that we can create an atmosphere and an aura for the learners also to experience the digital certificate. There is a big concept of digital badges now. Even micro credential is very important element which is virtually prevailing in the near future. So digital badges is also important, which can be issued on blockchain technology. So technology per se, for technology, I think the integration will play a big role, and there is always a security concern. But happy to say that like we got integrated with DigiLocker. So once a certificate issued through our platform, it directly get parked to the DigiLocker account. So such value proposition are also required to universities there, where they can even justify the government mandate, NEP policy, and the storage security concern for the credential. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zanwar. In fact, that brings us to the end of the discussion. In fact, if any of the panelists would like to add to this, I can take that as well. If Professor Jaykumar, Dr. Jaykumar, or Professor Abhay Kumar would like to add to this about the challenges that will be, present in basically the adaptation and implementation of blockchain technology.
Taranum,
One of the
I'll
important
say
things
only
that I
one question.
find is, all of us are going for NIRF ranking, NAC accreditation, etc. I mean, a lot of this work could be simplified if the right data is taken for this ranking. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, so the right data could be given. So that's a great challenge that everyone wants a good rank, NARF, QS ranking, etc., etc. So we found the blockchain is highly versatile. It can take care of a lot of interesting tasks, and we'll have to find methods of doing it. In fact, recently AICT, UGC, and the Ministry of Education recommended creating posts of professors of practice in academic institutes. I mean, these people did not have a PhD, but their experience. Such people could be hired, maybe for 20 hours in a semester, or for 30 hours in a semester, by some norms. And if they're good, such people could be hired to take us into the implementation of the blockchain technology. So lessons, courses, tests, and quizzes can be coded into technology and executed on their own when all qualifying conditions are verified. So this is something which is very important, and it's extremely good for evaluating students. And the students can also get access to more storage space, because since all the students cannot purchase terabytes of cloud storage, blockchain can provide an affordable and and seamless file storage system. So that's what I would like to say. And this technology has come to stay. Yeah,
Yeah,
Taranam.
Taranum,
Yeah, sure, sir. Yeah,
I'll just say two sentences or three sentences. The
yes,
first
sir.
would be
Yes, sir.
that initially, when blockchain technology, say, award of degrees and certificates came into a fore, when the Honorable Prime Minister had gone to IIT Kanpur, for instance, I talked to many institutional leaders. Most of those people, pardon me for saying so, you tried to use it as an USP rather than for the, say, betterment of the organization. That means blockchain hasn't been understood properly as yet. As Dr. Jayakumar was saying, as CA Mayurji was saying. So what needs to be done right now is that all university and institution leaders must educate their staff and faculty members regarding the usage of the blockchain, so that it can percolate well to the students as well. Now the mindset has to be changed. Any new thing which comes brings resistance with it, as Dr. Shiori had said. So when that resistance comes, it is our duty as seniors to tell them that it would be beneficial for the faculty. It would be beneficial for the students. When the system changes, in the past 1.5 years when the pandemic had come, I think we got technologically adapted to what we could have done in the next 4 or 5 years. We did it in 1.5 years time. So sometimes human nature is that when you thrust something upon us and we have no other option, so necessity is the mother of invention, become necessity is the mother of adoption. So that is how certain things go. So we have to very clearly understand that this is a technology that would be for the good of the institution, for the good of the education sector, and it has to be adopted in the best possible way as per the requirement of the institution. It is not that you have to adopt everything regarding blockchain. So that is how it has to be done, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. And this, in fact, brings us to the end of this panel discussion. And I would like to ask my backend team to now give a token of gratitude certificate for all our participants. If they can show the gratitude certificates, please. A token of gratitude certificate for Professor Dr. Abhay Kumar. Thank you so much, sir, for being a part of this
Thank
event
you.
and this panel discussion. It was wonderful listening to your words, sir. Thank you so much. One for Professor Dr. Ramesh Kumar Chaudhary. Thank you so much, sir, for being a part of this event despite your busy schedule. It was wonderful listening to your words and your views. One for Dr. KV Jayakumar. It is always a pleasure to have you with us, sir, and it was wonderful listening to your words.
Taranam, can you please change my designation in the certificate?
Yes, sir, we'll get it done, sir. We'll get it done, sir. One for Dr. Pratima Shauri. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being a part of this event and sharing your views on this very pertinent topic.
Thank you.
And one for Mr. Mayur Zanwar, in fact, CA Mayur Zanwar. Thank you so much, Mr. Zanwar. And I understand that you have a very busy schedule, but and you're in fact in a different city and a different country altogether. But thank you for being a part of this event. I would thank all our panelists to spare some time and be a part of this panel discussion, this wonderful panel discussion. It has been wonderful talking and discussing this very important topic with all of you. Thank you so much for your time, and we have day 3 tomorrow, which is the final day. And if you would like to be a part of the day 3 as well, you can join us in any of the panels which interest you as a delegate. You're most welcome for that. And thank you so much and have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Taranam. Wonderful being here.
Thank you. And you
Thank
have
you.
been
Thank
a
you, sir.
Thank you.
wonderful
Thank you,
moderator.
ma'am.
Thank you
Thank
for
you, sir.
this.
Thank you so much, sir.
Take
Thank
care.
you,
Good
sir.
day, everyone. Bye.
Yeah.
Be
Bye-bye.
safe.